We are live. Skye, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Ching?
So
I'm
great
so
to
excited.
see you.
Great to see you too.
We are live. My name is Ching Juhl. I have been hosting a conversation with someone special for 18 months now. And
Wow.
today, my guest is Skye Nakamura, actor,
Yes.
award-winning filmmaker. Welcome, welcome,
Thank
Skye.
you. Thank you. Thank you. So good to be here.
Yeah, so tell us, I am in New
Yeah.
York City. Where are you?
I am in Gardena, which is in the suburbs of Los Angeles, and this is my
Wow.
hometown. I'm actually
Wow.
in the house that I grew up in.
Oh my
So,
God. Wow,
yeah, it's
that's
really
wonderful.
special.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us how you and I met, like know
Oh,
each other.
we met on Clubhouse and actually these little tiny icons that you see on your phone. So we met and we weren't moving. We're just like but in multiple rooms. It's like we're in the same rooms all the time
Yeah.
because we're both filmmakers and iPhone. We make our films on iPhone. So we have a lot in common there. And yeah, it's always fun to be in your rooms. And hopefully I'm contributing. And now that I've made a film on an iPhone, I feel a lot more equipped to contribute and participate in these rooms. So it's very exciting for me. And thanks for making me a moderator in your room because that's also always really fun. So
Thank you. Thank you for
on Friday
helping
mornings,
us.
right?
Friday
We have to
morning,
plug that. I'm
12,
not good at that.
12
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much for helping. And congratulations. You are
Thank
the
you.
winner from Darion Film School, 1 minute film
One
school.
minute. One
Yeah.
minute. Not a
On
lot of
Clubhouse.
time.
Yeah. Now they're talking about 1 second yesterday.
Oh yeah. One
It was
one
funny.
second. 1 second film school.
1 second film school. Yeah. So anyway, so tell us a little bit about your background. I,
My
yeah,
background.
yeah.
Okay,
Like where were
so
you born? Like I know you were born in California, but like
yeah.
you are Asian, and tell us a little bit how where you born and how you grew up, and just
Okay.
yeah background.
So, like I said, I was born, well, I was actually born in downtown LA and I grew up in Gardena. And I'm the spoiled brat of four kids. So I kind of got a lot of things. Yeah, I was a spoiled kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that I had an easy life, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, I've had a lot of experiences, but I'm grateful for all of them. Even the tough ones, it kind of makes you a better person, I think,
Mhm.
and it just
Mhm.
gives you a lot more to work with when you're making films, when you're a
R-
filmmaker. So
Right.
grateful for
Right.
all of those. But let's see where to start. In a nutshell, yeah, I grew up. I always, just to relate it to why I'm here, I always loved film and TV. And I was like, Mom, how are the cameras there? I didn't understand the concept of filmmaking at that time. I just thought that it was happening. I was so into the whole story. I didn't realize, I thought there were cameras in this real life situation. Just remember that as a kid. But when I was in high school, I was a drama. Me and my friends created the drama club at Gardena High School because there was no drama club. There were like 4 or 5 members in the beginning, but we grew that, and then I directed a play. Actually, me and my friends were like, well, other schools in the South Bay are doing musicals and plays, and we wanted to do one, but our teacher was, he we proposed, we like, please, can we do like a show? And he's like, no, 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 and various reasons why. But then we're like, well, let's just do it ourselves. So me and two of my best friends, we wrote on a typewriter, like an electric typewriter, rewrote a musical, and we used songs from like Fame and what were they, like Chorus Line, a lot of Broadway shows, and we just put it all together, and we had a great time. So we proposed it to the administration, and they let us do it. So that was my first experience in just kind of taking control of the situation and just running with it and directing. I co-directed with my partner, my co-director partner, Kim Fouché, and then Rolanda Amos was our choreographer. And then we had the music. It was just a big school production, and they ended up letting out classes for that. So it was just like the first taste that I had of directing and being a storyteller, making my own stuff. And then I went to UCLA, studied psychology. I ended up going to Japan for a year. I had an audition with Alan Parker for Come See the Paradise. It was a movie. He won an Academy Award for Mississippi Burning, and I got callback after callback, and then I met with him. He said, "Say something in Japanese." I'm like, uh, because I didn't grow up speaking Japanese. My
Yeah.
grandparents are from Japan. I took a little bit in junior high school and high school and college, but not enough to be able to. So I said something like "I o tenki desu ne," which means it's really bad. It's like, "Oh, the weather is really nice." And I knew that if I didn't go to Japan, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. So I went there, and then Sony had bought Columbia Studios. This is way back in the 80s, but I was thinking, oh, maybe one day I'll work for Sony and I should actually, learn some Japanese. So I went to Japan thinking I was going to stay there for a year. I ended up staying there for 7 years.
Oh
Went to
my
grad
goodness.
school. Yeah. I went to grad
Wow.
school and studied social psychology, and then got into advertising and market research. And I really liked it, but I didn't like the idea of using psychology as kind of like a superpower, and you could use it to manipulate people and control people.
Yeah.
It's like social media now. You could actually use that knowledge of how people think and behave to control their behavior. And I didn't like that aspect of advertising when you're promoting unhealthy products or things that people could get addicted to. So I left that kind of, I thought, okay, if I'm going to do marketing, graphic design, and things like that, I'm going to do it for companies that I really believe in. And so that's what I've been doing on the side. It's kind of like my side hustle.
Mm.
Um, but fast forward, yeah, I got married, had a kid, got divorced, went the single mom,
Oh
and there were
God.
challenges there too. But then I got back into acting, but things got in the way. But now I am back, and it seems like a really good time, because before I was thinking I really want to be an actor to break negative stereotypes of Asians and Asian Americans in film and television. And that's such a negative approach. Now I'm thinking, let's just tell our stories. Asians and Asian Americans, we haven't been represented in film and television. I was just reading a study that was done by USC and Annenberg, and out of 1,300 films, only in, like, I don't know, was it how many years? 2009. It was like over like maybe 12 years or something like that. There were only 44 leads, Asian Pacific American leads in leading roles. And if you take out Dwayne Johnson, because I guess he's half Asian, there's only like 30 films or 30 something out of 1,300. So now it's like, no, let's just present ourselves as who we are and tell our stories. So rather than going at it as a negative, like, let's break stereotypes, let's present who we really are, and not stereotypes, and not that we always have to be the sidekick or the comic relief. Let's just present, because we all, I mean, you're Asian American as well. We all have problems just like the people on all shows on, dramatic shows on TV. So
Right.
that's my approach now.
When you were
So
in younger time, did
yeah,
you ever experience any sort of people look down on you because you look like Asian, although you're American born?
that's a very good question. I in Gardena, there's so many Japanese and Japanese Americans in my community growing up. Now it's a little bit different. But when I was growing up, this is like my whole block. We have, the next door neighbors are all Japanese Americans. So not in my immediate vicinity. And it wasn't that I was looked down or felt looked down upon. We were kind of the majority when I was growing
Mm.
up. So
Yeah, yeah.
um, but I think just being misperceived as not being American, the first time I experienced that was in the 80s. I went with my church. It was a church event in Flat Rock, Michigan, and it was a joint venture between Ford and Mazda. And at that time, I was doing the Japanese. It's a sacred dance where they do it at groundbreaking ceremonies. So Ford and Mazda was doing this joint venture, and I was doing the Japanese dance. So I changed in this. It was like an old rundown building that nobody was using anymore. When I got back, my dress was slashed, and this was in the late 80s during, yeah, Japan bashing. And I think there's a lot of people there in places like Detroit. And at that time, the car industry, American car industry, was really suffering, and they blamed it on the Japanese. I don't know if you
Mm,
remember, but they would get like
mm,
sledgehammers and bash these Japanese cars. It was pretty
mhm.
violent.
Mm,
And that's the first time, and I was really scared because I was by myself in this building, and I just
mm,
remember running to, the person that was taking care of me, and it was a terrifying experience, but it wasn't wasn't face to face. Like I didn't experience that somebody doing that to me personally, but it felt very personal and it
mm,
felt very not that it was violated. I felt like it could have happened to anybody in my position. So I didn't take it personally. That was because of me.
mhm,
But I thought, wow, it's a joint venture, and where it should be this beautiful partnership between Japan and America,
mm,
they see me on the Japanese side and they
mm.
see me as a negative, maybe a threat or something like that. So that really opened my eyes and really made me think, okay. And now they call it, I've heard a lot of people in the Asian community call it like perpetual foreigners who are not seen as American. Like no matter where we go, people are always asking, like, where are you from? And like, oh,
Mm.
I'm from LA. It's like, no, where are you from? Like, what Asian country are you from?
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, no, no, I was born here. My parents were born here. I don't want to, I don't say this all the time, but sometimes I say it jokingly. I'm like, I'm probably more American than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so I didn't grow up speaking Japanese. My parents, they grew up speaking both, but it wasn't like, yeah, my parents didn't, like, my mom didn't go to Japan until she was in her 60s because I was there. But otherwise,
Oh,
she probably would have never gone.
I
Yeah.
see. Wow, wow. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're very, very American. So now that
Yeah.
you stayed in Japan for so long, you must
Yeah.
be fluent in
No,
Japanese.
I'm pretty fluent.
That's
I
awesome.
don't use it as much as I want to, but yeah, when I start using it again, then it comes back.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
Did
It's
did you try how about your daughter? Does she speak at all?
so she was actually born in Japan,
Oh
and
my God.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so she
Oh,
lived there. We lived there until she was like 4.5.
oh,
And
okay.
then when she came here into
Yeah.
the LA,
Yeah.
it was so fast. She learned English amazingly fast. It was
Mm.
incredible. So
Yeah. Kids those age,
yeah,
they say they can learn 4 or 5 languages
and
actually.
it's kinda like her brain kinda switched, so then she
Yeah.
couldn't speak Japanese anymore.
Yeah.
But now when she speaks Japanese, her dad's from Japan, and
Uh-huh.
once in a while they'll have a conversation, and then she'll speak to my stepmom who's from Japan, and her
Yeah.
Japanese is really good, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
impressed. Yeah,
Yeah. My friend
yeah.
Peter's here. Hi, Peter. Yeah.
Hello,
I can
Peter.
yeah, I can see I
Oh,
can
you can
see
see
who
people. Oh,
I
the
can
chat?
see people in the chat. Yeah. I really
Oh,
appreciate.
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, so tell us a little bit about you. I checked to
Mhm.
you on oh sorry. It's just a delete. I keep
Uh-huh.
getting spam phone calls. Even when I turn my phone
Oh,
off,
no.
it rings on my computer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, hi Peter. So tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about your film career. Like you were in the film of the what do you call the Gersha?
Oh,
S-
Memoirs of the Geisha. Yeah.
yeah.
Memoirs
What
of the
did you
Geisha.
play?
So I played a tea house owner. I was actually the stand-in for Michelle Yeoh for the whole film. So it was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was really amazing. And I highly recommend, if you're interested in filmmaking, be a stand-in because you see everything. You're sitting there and they're doing the lighting, they're doing the blocking, they're figuring out the shot. When I was working on Memoir of the Geisha, I just remember this one moment where it was just me and the other stand-in, Zhang Ziyi stand-in, the two of us, and then the director and the cinematographer, and that was it. We were in this tiny little room, and you could hear them talking and trying to figure out the shot. And yeah, it was just I felt like a fly on the wall. I was in the middle of the room, but I felt like a fly on the wall. But
Yeah.
for 3 months, I worked on that film, and it was just a fabulous experience. And then they
When you
just
say
pulled me in.
standing, when you say standing, does
Oh
that
yeah.
mean you are a backup? What is
So stand-in is somebody who's actually hired, not as background, but to stand in for the other person. I could show you. I have a
Oh,
stand-in.
you mean like the main character is not always there. You
The
stand
main,
there
yes.
to
So the
be
main
yeah.
character might be
Oh,
going through wardrobe or makeup or hair. and they also don't want to tire them out because if you're sitting there while they're lighting you, I mean, low budgets, low budget films, you have to be your own stand-in,
Oh,
but it really makes a big difference. I don't. Do you want me to show them my setup here? Because that's what that doll, the mannequin is my
sure.
stand-in. You want
Sure.
to see?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
Please.
just turn the camera.
Okay.
So I'm in my little for my next 1 minute film for the Darion 1 minute film school. It's table for two, and this is just I'm not set up properly, but I'm just doing a lighting test.
Mm,
So I have my new iPhone 13
mm,
doing a time lapse on my mannequin, who
yeah.
is my stand-in.
So when you see if I take myself out means I give you the full shot, okay? So
Okay,
I'm not
sure.
disappearing. Yeah, I just
All
disappear.
right, got it. I'm gonna carry my microphone with me so you can still hear me. Okay, so this is my stand-in. It looks kind of creepy. I know it looks creepy, but it's so helpful for me to figure out lighting because I'm not a cinematographer and I'm just trying to figure out lighting and all the controls on the iPhone 13 and I'm not a pro. So I'm just setting this up. I hope it's not shaking too much, but this is what a stand-in does. They just stand there and they stand in for the actor. But I'm taking time lapse and I have a clock behind it so I can figure out what's the best time to shoot because I don't want to I don't have a crew. I don't have anybody to do a lighting setup for me. If I had a crew and you just say, "Hey, I need more light. I need a fill light," you could just have them put a light outside.
Yeah.
But since it's just me shooting because of COVID, I'm high risk for COVID. I have
Right.
asthma. So I'm just being really
Oh,
careful. So I don't want to have any crew members or even any other actors at this point because it's kind
yeah.
of, yeah. So
So
I'm,
so
yeah,
are you going to are you finished writing the script for this new assignment?
it's so funny you asked me that because I haven't started writing. I thought of the idea last night.
Yeah.
So because of you, Jing, I was like, you know how you mentioned a robot? I was thinking, oh, what a great idea. Maybe there's a woman who goes online and has a date with this guy and he shows up and he's a robot. Because you mentioned in a couple of rooms, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So can it be a robot? Does it have to be
Yeah.
a person? So I was
Yeah.
gonna take
Yeah.
your idea.
Mhm.
But then I was like, where do I get a robot costume? I couldn't find a robot costume.
Mm.
I couldn't find, and I got a stormtrooper
Oh.
costume, but it was
Oh.
really cheap. It looked
Oh.
horrible. So I'm
Oh.
returning them. I'm like, okay, that's not going to work.
Uh,
So I'm like, okay, maybe I could play like, okay, the guy that comes is actually ends up being her brother, like surprise, like they meet online, but they're using different avatars.
yeah.
I'm like, nah, that's kind of creepy. So just last night, I figured it out.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm gonna write it. I figured out
Great.
the idea, but
Yeah.
we have like I don't know, not many days left. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, it's amazing. You're doing such a wonderful job. Now, this leads to
yeah.
my question to you is first of all,
Uh-huh.
you're the winner for August and September, August, right? July, August
July, August.
competition. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, how did you? I don't remember. I
Yeah,
don't even remember how I met Darion. Like, do you remember how you get to know this school, 1 minute school?
that's a really good question. I have no idea. I have no idea. I think I just somehow found the room. When you follow the same people, and if
Yeah,
they're in one room, and then it
yeah,
just pops up.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really good question. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
So,
But
so
I,
tell us again. I
yeah,
have another question for you
yeah.
before this. Is that can you tell people what the heck is Clubhouse?
Oh, oh my God. Yeah, tough question. Okay, so what I've heard it called, like the word that people have used is social audio. There's social media,
Mhm,
and they call it either drop in audio or social audio.
mhm,
But it's kind of like either like a seminar. It's kind of like a seminar format, like if you're like at a conference, because there's a hallway
uh-huh,
where you could see all the rooms that are taking place. I don't know if
yeah,
you've been to a seminar, but yeah,
yeah,
you at a
yeah,
seminar, and then they'll have
yeah,
like
yeah,
signs outside. Okay, this person's speaking, and you
yeah,
see who else is in the room as a moderator.
yeah.
If you're following people who are just listening in the room, you could look
Uh-huh,
at their names too. But then you have choices, and then you go
yeah,
into a room, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, this is interesting. I'll stay here."
uh-huh,
And so there's like different sections. There's
yeah,
speakers, and followed by the speaker, and then everybody else.
yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing because I've learned so much on Clubhouse. And when I first got on, I think it was May of this year, I was so addicted. I was like, okay, I could go on this one. I could, and my whole schedule was just crazy packed with clubhouse rooms. So I was like, oh, I don't want to. It was like FOMO, like I didn't want to miss out, fear
Yeah,
of
yeah,
missing out.
yeah,
Like, oh, I'm
yeah,
gonna miss out on that information.
yeah, yeah.
So I just had to back off because it was just consuming too much of my time.
Yeah, yeah,
It
I
was
can
great.
relate to that. I started in my friend introduced to me, I think in February, but I did not
Uh-huh.
get out until March. And
Okay.
I yeah, so
Oh,
I
just
started to
March.
yeah,
Wow.
March. I
Yeah.
started to go in different rooms and I have never felt this way. Felt
Yeah.
that the there's why is there so many smart people? There's
Yeah.
so
Oh my
many
gosh.
smart people.
So many smart people. So many. And they're giving away free information.
I know.
This is
Yeah.
information that pre-pandemic we would have had to pay for. Like we would have had to go to a conference
Mhm,
or pay for a seminar, and they're
mhm.
giving away all this information for free. And then you could
Yeah.
ask a question for
Right.
free. Yeah, it's
Right.
pretty amazing.
Right. It's like I
Yeah.
was also telling people, pretending you are listening radio, right? In your
Yeah.
car, assuming you drive a car and you have radio stations, and
Right.
then you listen to some, you listen to a channel as classical music or news or pop or whatever, and then you like something, and then you just like push the button to say ask question about radio radio
Yeah.
host.
Yeah.
It's like you can join but
Right.
the interesting thing is it's live.
Yes.
It's living.
Live.
It's at the
Yeah.
moment you
Uh,
joining and you listen and you ask questions,
Right.
and or you help other people, right? Other people ask you questions, so vice versa. So
And
it's
it's kind of something to get used to because it's live. You can't go. Sometimes when I'm listening to a podcast, I just go back 15 seconds. And sometimes I'm on Clubhouse. I'm like, oh, I want to hear. Oh, I can't rewind. And I have to be really, right? You
yeah,
really have to be listening. You can't
yeah,
just space out.
yeah. There is no, but right now they have a new feature that people can record. How do you think?
Yeah,
What do
for
you
30
think?
seconds or something like that, right?
I
Like you
thought,
could
oh
record
yeah,
sound
for
clips or something.
30 seconds is okay,
Yeah.
but what if the entire session
Oh
can
yeah,
be
you could do that
recorded?
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
think they have to, as a moderator, you have to announce that or put it on the title of the room or something like
Mm,
that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
So
so get back. So now you
yeah.
joined Darren Dangzhu's 1 minute film school, and at what point, or do you always want make film, or you have already in the film industry for a long time as an
Uh-huh.
actress, and so what triggered you to physically and just do it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've always thought about, and I was writing a script. I finished the script, but I was like, well, who's gonna make it? Like who's gonna direct it? And I'm like, I can't do that. So I had absolutely no confidence that I could even, yeah, try to direct this film that I'm
Mhm.
writing. But yeah, the 1 minute film school, I thought, well, why not? Let's just see what I could come up with. And I had absolutely no idea that I would win maybe cinematography just because my daughter was the cinematographer. I thought, okay, maybe she could win an award because she's pretty good. She's
Mhm.
just naturally very intuitive and she could figure out the iPhone in a second. So
Mhm.
she figured it out and it came out, the shots came out really good. And I thought, okay, maybe we'll win cinematography. And then I was getting feedback along the way that was kind of my confidence was being crushed. They're like, "Well, I don't get it." I'm like, "Okay, I'm never gonna win." I just didn't even consider that I could win because my friends didn't get the point of my movie. You got it, Ching. You totally got it. Like from the get go, you got it. But some of my friends, they didn't get it, and they asked me questions like, "Well, what does she have in her hand?" And they got really, they got really literal about it. Like, I need
Mm.
to know what's in her hand, or which is fine, but for me, it was like, it's that's not the important thing. So I wanted to direct people away from what's actually the gift that she was wearing. Just
Yeah,
the
Johnny's
character
here.
throws something into the ocean. Hello,
Yeah.
Johnny.
Johnny! Thank you for joining
Hey, thanks for
us.
coming.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah, and but you also have to do a lot of things which I don't know how to do, like doing storyboarding, doing animatics, what else? All these fancy
Shot
things.
list.
Shot list. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
They're
have you done those
so
before? Your animatics is
no.
so good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, but no, but there's so many things online that you could look up nowadays. And if there's a sample, like the animatic that I always bring up is the Grand Budapest Hotel. I mean, of course, that's professional level. So ours
Mm,
do not have to be that level, but it
mm,
was a good example of me of how an animatic um, could. And I don't know if they created the animatic. They probably created the animatic after the movie was made from
mm,
the storyboards. So an
mm,
animatic is basically storyboards that's put on a timeline. So
mm,
it's paced as if it's the movie, but it's
mm,
not. There's just sketches usually.
mm,
Sketches are in my case, I took photos from like stock photos or
mm,
anywhere I could get a photo, Adobe stock photos or
mm.
on the internet. But anything like the animatic is putting that story into a timeline. And I put it in a 1 minute timeline so I could get the timing right because I was
Yeah.
matching it to music that I had pre-selected.
Question.
Yeah,
Now you were making 1 minute film
yeah,
that relatively, like, how do you timing the storyboard? Um, do you do, like, how do you know each frame before even you shot is how many
right.
seconds? So my question is, for a feature film, an hour and a half, like that animatics has to be very long. So my question is, do you do it as a scene or as a, I don't know, timeline or outline?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think in the real world, I don't think they make an animatic for the whole film. I think, a lot of people, depending on the director or whoever's the creative person, not everybody does a storyboard, like for every shot, for every different, wherever they're putting the camera, for every different position that the camera's in. But um, for us, that was the requirements for the competition. So we had to do the storyboard and the animatic. Um, so yeah, for feature film and mine was easier just because I was timing it to music. So what I did was on the beat of the music is when the cuts would be. But now for this next competition, I think they realized that, I can't get away with doing what I did last time. Like, no, Skye
There
can't
has
do
to
that
be
again.
dialogue.
There has to
Yeah,
be dialogue.
yeah.
And that's going to be challenging
Mm,
because, yeah, how do you know? Because the dialogue could, if the pace of it is too long, like these
yeah,
two characters are staring at each other because you want to build the tension,
yeah,
but that's not going to work because it's only 1 minute. So you have
yeah,
to figure out, I'm going to have to figure out
yeah,
how to tell the story. The intro, I'm thinking I could do really quick cuts, like
yeah, yeah,
a montage.
yeah,
It's funny, there's a movie,
yeah,
and I don't want to mention it now because I
yeah.
want people to guess where I got these ideas from.
Secret!
Um,
Mm.
secret. But it's so exciting to me because I want to see if I could pull it off so people
Yeah.
could tell where I got these ideas from because I'm totally ripping it off from this movie.
Oh,
The
okay,
whole
okay.
window setup is from that movie. So if
Oh my god.
somebody loves that movie, they'll
Yeah,
probably figure it out. But
okay.
there's one scene where it's just these cuts.
Uh,
Um, Looking down at the table, there's these quick cuts. So I'm going to start the
yeah,
movie out that way, and
yeah.
hopefully that'll save time so that I'll have more time for the dialogue. Does that make sense?
You it's a very challenge thing because it's very difficult. On Clubhouse, you say, "Let's introduce yourself within a minute." So some people is very
Yeah,
hard time to control. They just keeps talking and talking. So dialogue with two persons. So even if the entire
yes,
movie is 50-50, then everyone can only speak 30 seconds, and then you do
right,
not want the entire time it's all talking. That's boring too, right?
right,
So
right,
you will
right.
have to make it in a way that less word, but still point into the direction you want to. I mean,
So
it's difficult.
Darion,
People
it's
don't have
so
a dialogue.
difficult. It's so difficult. I mean, just telling a story in a minute is really difficult. But
You
then,
can dialogue with your hand.
right, right, right.
Hi, Darian.
Darion's here.
Darian.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Hi.
Many
We were just
features
talking
do.
about him.
Okay.
We were just
Well,
talking about Darion.
yeah. Can you see he said something?
Oh,
We're
yes.
talking about
Oh,
animatics.
yes, many features do animatics for the oh, wow. He says many features do animatics
Oh,
for the entire movie ahead of time. Definitely.
well,
Disney, Marvel, Stars, Wars, Pixar always do full animatics before moving forward. Wow. A
wow.
lot of work. Thank you,
Yeah,
Darian, for clarifying
yeah.
that.
Wow,
That's
wow.
yeah,
I'm not
wow.
definitely not an animatics person because I'm a documentary person. I just shoot whatever I see.
But that's a
I have no
skill. That's a
plan.
skill and an art in
Yeah,
itself. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, but
it's
it's
hard.
different. So
I think
Darian, we
my
were just
problem with documentary sorry.
yeah.
I
That's
think my problem with documentary is having too much footage at the end because you're shooting everything,
mhm.
and then
Yeah,
remembering like, "Oh, wait, where did I put that
right.
interview with so and so?" Yeah.
Right. To review everything periodically and then to view them again and again and make notes. And then you sit on that for a long time. Like you don't do anything. You just think
Right.
about it in the morning, think about all day, think about for a whole
Oh
month.
my gosh.
Then something clicks, and then you put it together. So yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So
That happened to
Darian,
me
yeah.
last night at
Huh?
like 3 o'clock in the morning. It
You
clicked. I'm
did?
like,
You
"Oh,
clicked?
that's what when I told you I haven't written my script yet. Darian, I haven't
Yeah.
written my script yet."
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Helga wrote a script.
yeah,
I
it was good.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing it, but I don't think I have the brain power to do that, within like 10 days. So
And you
so
have to
so
have a big
s-
rock. You have to
somebody
find
should
a big
help.
rock.
Big
Yeah.
rock? Oh, I,
Yeah.
I thought it's not a rock.
Oh.
It's about cop. It's about
Oh.
Helga. Helga wrote
Yeah.
a nice script. Maybe Darren, you can pair someone with Helga to direct the film because she wrote already. Yeah, I feel a little bit overwhelmed right now,
Yeah, me too.
and I'll tell you later why. Because
Okay.
I'm having some situation, but I have to go to California
Yes,
to
yes, so
attend
tell me
the
when you're here.
where. Yeah,
Because you're gonna
I
be in
will hang out.
LA. Yeah,
We'll definitely hang out.
for
Yeah,
sure. And then
yeah.
tell me about the when your film is screening, because I'll try to make it. Your
October
screening.
27th.
Is
October.
that a weekend?
No, I think
Oh,
it
good.
27 is a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, good,
Uh,
good, good. Okay.
Wednesday night, 7:30. The
Oh,
film
nice.
is 7:30. The film is going to show at LA Regal Live.
Yeah, that's where they
Yeah.
had the 24-hour film festival.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
nice theater. Yeah, really nice
Yeah,
theater.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a little bit worried. Like, all you see
Why?
my film is on the computer, or on television.
Oh, no, no,
It's
no,
not
no, no,
on the
no. It's gonna be
huge
great. It's
screen.
good. It's great. But it won awards. It's award-winning film. So,
I know, but
right? Yeah.
still, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Hi, Darian. So, yeah, I'll let you know more about information.
Please,
It
please.
would be
That'd be great.
lovely to see you. All come to see the film. So, yeah. So let's continue. My question for
Okay.
you is that all of these things are very kind of new to you in terms of
Yeah.
making animatics and also making storyboard making, and I find you do things very meticulously and you do it really well. Is that like it's a very Japanese? Sorry,
No, no,
we
no, 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 no. I'm laughing because I didn't realize that I was a perfectionist until later in life. And one of my friends is like, it doesn't have to, we're doing something for the kids. Our kids were little. And she's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I am trying to make it was like this Harry Potter party. And I was trying
yeah,
to get something perfect, like
yeah,
these
yeah,
little
yeah,
candies, the
yeah,
bows on the candies or something like that. She's
yeah,
like, it
yeah,
doesn't have
yeah.
to. I'm like, oh, I guess she's telling me you don't have to be a perfectionist. I'm like, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
am a perfectionist. So
yeah,
it's but what's interesting is when I'm on set and
yeah,
if it's a good production,
yeah.
everybody's a perfectionist and I feel like I'm not sick.
Uh-huh.
I feel
Yeah,
I feel kind of
yeah.
normal.
Normal, yeah. Otherwise, you're
It's my
abnormal.
tribe. I found my tribe on set because everybody's like that,
Yeah,
you know? And
yeah,
even more so, like these people who are doing props and these
yeah,
tiny little and they take pictures and they have to put it exactly the same way. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, that's
yeah,
way above me. I can't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
your film, 1 minute film, first time you enter, right, as a competition at Darion Dangju's 1 minute film school on Clubhouse, won best picture, best
Yeah.
screenplay, best cinematography, best production design, and best sound. That's like a huge,
And
yeah.
like I said, I mentioned earlier that I absolutely didn't expect to win because my friends didn't get the movie.
I knew you were
So
gonna win. I knew because
really?
because I saw it.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
you're so
yeah.
sweet.
I
Yeah.
knew you're gonna win something. I did not know how many
Yeah.
things you're gonna win, but I
I just
knew.
thought I thought cinematography for my daughter because she's got
Yeah,
such good eye. Yeah. I
yeah,
wish I could make
yeah.
all my movies with her because she's really good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So is
So,
she a filmmaker or is she just a video person? Oh,
well, she's actually right now she's working. She graduated from the University of Hawaii Graduate School
yeah,
in learning design technology, and it's all
yeah.
about using technology to help people learn. And her interview with Bank of Hawaii, they wanted to know if she could use what is that, Final Cut? It's
Mm.
a
Oh, okay.
editing software, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
So
Yeah,
either that or Premiere Pro. So I
yeah.
guess they're expecting her to be
I'm
able to
grabbing
make
a tissue.
videos,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
corporate videos, like for educational purposes. So she has to do
Yeah.
edits and stuff like that. So
Oh, okay,
um,
okay.
and she's good. So
Yeah.
that's what one of her projects, she had to do a couple of videos. So that's part of her education in grad school. So, and I'm hoping that maybe in the future she'll get into filmmaking. But it's a tough, like, to have a family. I'm on set like for 13, 14 hours, and I'm like, oh, how do they have families? There were
Yeah.
two, the last production I was on. I actually worked on Pen 15 as the stand-in for Maya Erskine. It was amazing. I'm telling you, stand-in work is amazing if you want to
How
learn
did you
about
get
film.
on? How did you become get the job like that? Like do you
So
have to be an
lucky.
actress or
No,
you
well, I decided to sign up with Extras Management again. It's they're like an agency. They're not actually technically an agency, but they're a call-in service because I guess back in the day you had to call in. But you sign up with Central Casting, and then you sign up with Extras Management. You have to pay every month, like $80 or something like that. But they will try to get you in as a stand-in or better, like background jobs, stuff like that.
Mhm.
I've only done two regular stand-in jobs, and the first one was on Memoirs of Geisha, and the second one was on Pen 15. So I got really
Mm,
lucky. I don't know who made that
wow.
decision, but I got
Yeah.
really lucky just because it's great income. You usually get overtime. My checks were like every check was just crazy because we're
Yeah.
always working overtime. But like I said before, you're just sitting there and you get to see how they do lighting. I'm watching them do lights and flags and all kinds of things around me, and you could learn so much
So
as a stand-in,
for
more than a background, more than extra, because
so
extras.
yeah, but
uh
you obviously love filmmaking. So
yes,
do they use people whoever sign up? Do people just want to do this job? They don't care. They just stay there and as an extra. So what I'm trying to say is,
yeah.
what is the criteria for them
Oh,
to accept you as
hmm.
standing in? Like,
So if
what
it's
are the other standing like? Are they really crazy about filmmaking?
no, probably not. No, I don't know. I know
Hi,
some of
Rev.
them are.
Revolution is here.
Rev! Hey,
Hi,
Rev!
Rev.
Yay! Thanks so much, you guys, for showing up. I
Yeah,
really appreciate
yeah.
it. That's so nice.
So,
The criteria for a stand-in. So if it's a union production, you need to be in the union, in
mm,
Screen Actors Guild.
yeah,
So that's the first criteria. And then I guess you got to have a good reputation with your company, your call-in service, or else they're not going to send you out. You have to be reliable.
mm,
I have a perfect record. I've never been late. I'm always early to set. So
yeah,
if you have that impeccable record, they're going to be more
yeah,
likely to send you out on these. What
yeah.
else? I just luck. I think luck. And then if you do get the stand-in job, just make sure that you do your job well, or else
Mm,
they're going to replace you in a
mm,
heartbeat because there's a lot of
yeah.
people that would like to do the stand-in work, and a lot of people are just career stand-in, which is fine. So they do other stuff, like they might be writing a book or whatever. So they'll
Yeah.
sit in their chair and work on their stuff on their computer or their
Oh,
notebook or whatever. So I think,
oh
a lot
yeah.
of people do have other pursuits.
You
And yeah,
can
I'd
you
say maybe,
can look at your cell phone when you do the job.
oh yeah. I mean, it
Really?
depends on the production, but yeah, for most,
You can be on Clubhouse.
oh yeah, right, right. I have my headset. Okay,
Yeah.
Skye, walk over there. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
like
that's funny.
moderating the room.
Yeah.
No, you
So
can't be on your phone on set. You could be on your
I
phone off set, but when
I
you're on
see.
set, you can't
I
be on
see.
your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's great. We have Shuyala is here with us. Baha.
Hello.
Yeah, probably your fan, Sky. No? So
I
thank you
hope
so
so.
much.
I hope I have fans because I
Yeah,
don't know.
thank
This is
you.
like I'm new in this whole realm of award making filmmakers, so this is pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So back to I was just curious knowing you won so many 5 awards from the first 1 minute. What is the most challenge? Maybe tell me the most two challenges about
Ah,
this making this lost and found. And we're going to talk about what is lost and found.
Okay. I guess the first challenge is the story because that's the most important thing when you're making a film is the story. And
Mhm.
do you want me to tell them about the story now or later?
Can we
Maybe I'll talk
watch
about
it?
the second challenge.
Tell me the
Yeah,
challenge,
sure.
then we watch it. It's only
Oh,
one
that's a good
minute. And
idea.
then you
Okay.
can talk about how's that?
Hmm.
And then people can ask questions. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I
So
think the second
challenge.
challenge was just the intimidation of not really knowing how to shoot. Like this is the first real shoot that I've done on my own with my daughter. So it was a little intimidating. But once we got to the beach,
Mm,
and once we started shooting, and thank God my daughter was there, so it made it a lot easier just having somebody else there
mm,
to do it with.
mm.
Um, and like, I'm a perfectionist, right? So that's another
Yeah,
that's a challenging thing is to kind of let my perfectionism go, and you just
yeah,
have to
yeah.
just ride with it. Like this one
Right.
shot where she throws that rock.
Mm,
She was carrying a
mm,
rock. It's not,
mm,
that was a secret. When she thing in her hands,
mm,
which she throws into the ocean, she's looking at
mm,
it.
mm,
I'm like, what about the timing, Ellie? What
mm,
about the timing?
mm,
Because I have so much time in my timeline. And she's
mm,
like, Mom, don't worry about the timing. Don't worry about the timing. It's gonna
mm,
work out.
mm.
Don't worry about it. And it worked
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
So she knew intuitively
yeah,
that we would be able to pull it off if I just followed the action, and
yeah,
it worked out fine. So I think letting go of some perceived notions that I have, like, oh, we have to
yeah,
shoot this way, and just kind of
yeah,
going with the flow.
yeah, yeah. Great. So I am going to
Yeah,
share this 1 minute
great.
film. It's called Lost and Found. It's through YouTube. Okay. So if you have a
I'll be right
question,
back.
oh,
Sure.
okay. Yeah. And mute yourself, please, dear.
Oh,
Tina.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I am going to exit also from
Can
the
you turn
room.
my camera?
Yeah. I'll turn our back.
We're back. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Yeah.
Great.
Let me close this. Yes. Did you guys see it? uh, Baha? Hi, Baha. Ababa? Abada? Um, so yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Very. Oh, I have a question. Very expressive and very. To me, it makes you think. After you watch this, it's not like a just entertainment film. It makes you think and makes you wonder what exactly.
Whoops.
Oh, your phone call. What
I
exactly?
turned my phone off too.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
know. I've done my computer rings sometimes. So yeah, it has a lot of depth to the meaning. It makes you to try to figure out what exactly like
Mhm.
she dug out, and the object itself is not that important actually. It is the whole story is about leaving, right, about finding, about memory, um,
Yeah.
yeah, lost, then found, and then sort of a gratefulness, right?
Yeah.
Grateful
Yeah.
for, yeah. So it's a very positive also. Now, I
Yeah.
have a question. When I see
Mhm.
your film, it is not 16:9. It's very narrow. Why is
That's
that?
correct. Okay, so I really wanted to get that cinematic look. So on Filmic Pro, they have the cinematic. I don't know if you're familiar with Filmic Pro, but I could show this here. It's a great app, by the way, and it allows you to do a very long and wide aspect ratio.
Mm,
So it's 239. So it's 2.39 to 1, and it's very wide. So let me just get my settings here.
2.39. Mm.
Yeah, to 1. So I haven't been on this so frame rate device. I can't remember. I'm feeling very overwhelmed right now because I
That's
don't
okay.
remember.
Yeah, but I just noticed that I did not I don't remember
Not
if I see any of
bothering.
the Netflix film as like this
Hmm.
narrow. I don't remember. I just so
Oh yeah,
that's
Netflix, they use probably 16 by 9, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
standard.
uh-huh.
So yeah, when you watch it on YouTube, you'll see the black bars on the top and
Yeah,
the bottom.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now yeah, so tell us more about
Yeah.
if anyone in the audience you have any questions for Sky, you just type on the yeah, comment area. So tell
Yeah.
us more about the sort of a thinking machine. Where is this idea come from, or is it
Right.
easy? Was it easy to come, or was it like you have to think for a long time?
Right. So the theme, and I think it's a brilliant theme, is love, and not just love, it's love with a question mark at the end. I think if it was just love, you could just do anything that signified love. It could be you and a puppy or a kitten or something, you know. But with the question mark at the end, I thought, okay, what is love to me? And I thought about the people that I love most in my life and the people that loved me the most and the longest, and those would be my parents. But my parents are gone. My dad died in 2019 and my mom died in 2016. So I'm like, can you still love somebody if they're not with you anymore? Can you still be in love? Like, what about a couple? Like, if a couple that's been married for 60 years, if one of them dies, can they still say, I'm still in love and not look crazy? You know, because other people will be like, wait, you're still in love, your husband's dead, but you're in love with those memories. And that's
Uh-huh.
who they become, right?
Mhm,
The
mhm,
people, my mom and my dad live in my memories, and
mhm,
memories are really important. But sometimes when things are so painful, like if we have a painful breakup, if we have a boyfriend or girlfriend and we break up with them or they break up with us, we don't want to go to that restaurant
mhm,
because it reminds us of them, or we
mhm,
don't want to think about that vacation, or we don't want to
mhm,
go to Hawaii or somewhere anymore because we don't want to be reminded of them at all.
mhm,
So a lot of times we'll just throw away all of those memories.
mhm,
But if you throw away, like if a person's married for 50 years, are they going to throw away 50 years of memories?
mhm.
some of
mm,
the best memories of their lives are probably within those memories. So if you throw
mm,
them all away, what are you left with?
mm,
So in this story, I just thought about that thing that she got from her mom.
mm,
We don't know what it is, but it's the symbol of memories. So when she throws it into ocean, she's really throwing away all of her memories with her mom because her mom
mm,
left for whatever reason. And that's not really important either.
mm,
And this actually comes from a true story. I know somebody whose mom left when she was 9 years old. She was 9, her sister was 6. The mom just left. And I'm like, where's your mom? They're like, she's in jail. I'm like, what? Like, well, she doesn't come home, so she must be in jail. That's the only way they could reconcile in their minds why their mom would leave.
mm,
So a lot of times we don't know why people leave or break up with us.
mhm,
So yeah, so she throws her all of the memories into the ocean. But then later on she realizes that she needs those memories to
mm,
heal, to
mm,
be whole, or to move on with her life.
mm,
So she goes back to the beach. It's also just a metaphor
mm,
for her
mm,
digging up those memories again and embracing them. So at the
mm,
end, she goes like this because it's her embracing all of those memories, especially
mm,
the good times, because most of those memories were good. Most of the
mm.
memories that she had with her mom, even though her mom wasn't the overly loving type. I don't know if you noticed, but I played the mom. That was me playing the mom. She was a little cold. She didn't really embrace. She's
Mm,
walking away from the child. So she's not the loving,
mm,
mom. So yeah, and in the end, I wanted it to be, yeah, bittersweet, maybe
mhm.
bittersweet moment.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
Very, very well done. Very well done.
thank
And
you,
in
thank
terms of
you.
when you shot, were you handheld or was it any what do you call
Gimbal.
gimbal or what do you call tripod? I have a
Yeah,
gimbal. I don't know how to use gimbal yet. So
I could teach you because now I know.
yeah.
So we did use a tripod. The opening scene was on a tripod, um, the beach, and
Mhm.
then when she has the metal detector, that was on a tripod.
I'm reaching
And
something.
then the rest of it was on DJI Mobile 3 gimbal. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's the exact one. So
Yeah.
I didn't tell my daughter when we were shooting, but I knew I was going to give it to her when we
Oh yeah.
finished the film. So I
Oh
gave it
yeah.
to her. I gave it to her
Oh.
and I gave it to her and I bought the 5, the DJI Mobile
Oh.
5. So now I
She got the leftovers.
she got the
That's
well,
right.
it was
I think a
yeah,
3 is
it
good.
was
It's
new.
very
It's what?
3 is good enough, you know.
Yeah, it's
I
really good.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
really, really good. And
yeah.
it's basically to stabilize. So yeah, we used the gimbal. And then that was interesting too, because we also had an ND filter that we put on the lens. So it kind of weighed it down. And then we were trying to use a microphone. So we plugged the microphone on the other end so that weighed it down this way, but it wasn't, the balance was all off. But
Mm.
then we ended up not using the microphone, but we kept that as a counterbalance, as a counterweight.
Oh, okay.
So with the 5, I bought some counterweights, but the 5, I think the motor is a little stronger,
Mhm,
so it does allow for the ND filter to be on there, and
mm.
there's no problem.
So
Yeah.
you just recorded a sound, the wave? How did you do
So the
that?
wave was actually a track. It's a track that
Okay.
I found online because
Mhm,
we did try to record the sound of the waves, but it didn't come out so good. It was a little, yeah, it just didn't come out really good.
mm,
So, and I had the sound of the waves. I had that in, I think my animatic had that as
mm,
well.
mm.
So I just used that
Yeah,
track
that's
and it worked
great.
out. But I did have to change the timing on it because I wanted the waves to crash. I
Right,
wanted the sound to crash, so
right,
it wasn't
right.
off sync. So it
Yeah,
worked out though that I
yeah,
was
that's
able to.
great. And in terms of lighting, did you just shoot once, or in 2 days or 3 days?
The beach scene was just one day. Yeah, and it was there's so many things. Sometimes I don't know what it is, but sometimes everything comes together and it was overcast and it was a perfect because I had gone out there before by myself and
Yeah,
like I'm doing the lighting test right now because I'm really
yeah,
picky about lighting.
yeah,
I went there and there were harsh shadows.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we have to have so I bought one of those filter things. I'm like, how
Yeah.
are we going to put it on, use it on the beach without the lifeguard, wondering
Yeah.
what we're doing, and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
are we going to hold it up? But it
Did
worked
you
out.
did you go there early in the morning or late in the afternoon?
We went there in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I did
Like 4 or 5?
something like that. Yeah, 4 or
Okay.
5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
That's
didn't have
good.
a whole lot of time. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, these people started coming onto the beach behind us. That was another challenge, if you're talking about
Oh,
challenges.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Extra.
okay,
Extras are coming.
but they're like, no, we don't want this. And then that one scene, that second shot of her,
Yeah.
she's just looking out at the ocean and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. The guy in back of her, I don't know if you could see, but over her hat, there's a guy, and we had to get that moment where he was like twirling the stick. He had this big stick, so it wasn't like just people walking on the beach. There were
Yeah.
two guys like twirling sticks, and we're like,
I see.
no.
Oh.
But we were able to get that shot,
Yeah. Yeah.
luckily, at that
That's
right
great.
time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great. So for you are relatively still new in this whole cell phone shooting business. You really did a great job. So
yeah. Oh, thank you.
yeah, we're going to telling people that um uh
Hi, Rev.
me and Darion and Skye and Rev, many other Johnny and many filmmakers. We do this iPhone video production clubhouse on Fridays at 12 noon. We usually do 2 hours, but for this coming Friday, I can only do for 1 hour just because
Okay.
I have to go to a wedding, so I need to get
Oh,
ready.
nice,
Yeah, I haven't
nice.
gone to a wedding for a long time.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I don't know if you can come or you want to continue after I
yeah.
go,
I could
or
do
should
that.
I? Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I can
problem.
just quietly leave. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, great. Thank you so much for helping
Sure,
out.
anytime.
Yeah. So um I wanted to just touch base with you about your other pursuit. I
Yeah,
remember you mentioned about one of the your top priority of developments is it's you wanted to develop an indie short film. It's called Good Morning Bonasa. How do you
bonsai.
say that? Bonsa?
Bonsai, bonsai.
Bonsai. Oh, Good
Yeah,
Morning Bonsai. Bonsai is a
yeah,
plant, right? Mini plant.
yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this project and
Sure.
where are you now?
Okay.
How far your planning is?
Okay. So it's about a woman Japanese American woman like me in COVID, and she is before COVID, she was this really successful businesswoman. She had her own company. She was doing book tours and TED Talks and just jet setting all over. But because of the pandemic, her schedule just like completely vanished. Like she had nothing to do and she gets really depressed. So it's about her having to redefine her identity because now that she has nothing, she just lost her identity. It's identity crisis that she's going through and also depression. But she has this bonsai that was her best friend, and it dies because she's watching cat videos. She's doing all these things that we do during the pandemic just to keep
Yeah.
ourselves happy, right?
Hmm.
Binge watching Netflix and drinking wine, and then she forgets about her bonsai plant that was her best friend, and it dies. So she goes out to the front, buries it, and in front of her is this huge, big monster bonsai, and actually growing this bonsai. It's like, I mean, it's not a bonsai because it's planted in the ground,
Mm.
but it's one of the trees that my dad, he was a Japanese American gardener before he
Mm.
became a printer, but he planted these Japanese black pines in my front yard,
Mm.
in our front yard. And this one is growing out of control. So it's a
Mm.
monster bonsai. But she sees that. Of course, I like symbolism and I like these metaphors or whatever, where the bonsai represents, how we had divisiveness and we
Mm.
had bullying and we have negative, just these powers that are just these forces that are very negative in
Mm.
recent years.
Mm.
So it confronts her and just kind of knocks her onto her butt. Like
Mm.
literally, she falls down and then she
Mm.
sees it and she just says, you know what? I'm going to put you in your place. So she gets out those choppers and she goes at it. but it's not looking very pretty. So
Mm,
she kind of goes back, and I love memories. You know how
mm,
Christopher Nolan, not that I could compare myself to this
mm,
amazing god of
mm,
filmmaker, but
mm,
he goes like his is time. That's his the use of time in his movies is amazing. But I
mhm,
love memories.
mhm,
So there's flashbacks. So she has flashbacks of her dad who taught her how to do bonsai.
mm,
And with bonsai, you really have to be connected to the tree. You have to listen to the tree. You have to let it tell you what to do and be connected. And it's us connecting to nature. And I think in COVID, it's really important for us to connect with something.
right.
So she also found a box of her dad's things, and she finds his clipping shears, and she realizes that she lost that in becoming successful. She lost that connection with her dad and her her roots. So she's like a tree without any roots. Oh, I just
Mhm.
thought about that right now. But that's exactly what she is. She's a tree,
Yeah, yeah.
tree without roots.
Mhm,
So when she connects with her dad's spirit and her past and remembers those times when she was doing the bonsai with her dad, her roots start to grow back into the
mm,
earth. She feels more
mm,
grounded, and she's able to not confront this big monster bonsai anymore, but connect with it.
mm,
And being able to connect with it allows her to prune it in a way that it becomes beautiful.
hmm. So how
I'm
many
also learned
characters? How many characters in this short?
4, including a fly. So she's the main character. The main character.
Okay.
These are the present day, right?
Yeah.
So main character, her small bonsai
Mm,
that's dead now.
mm, mm,
Then the big bonsai, the monster bonsai in the
mm,
front yard, and
mm,
then the fly. And
mm,
then in her flashbacks, her
mm,
father,
mhm,
and then also her assistant.
mm. Okay.
Yeah.
And are you done writing the story yet? Are
You
you
know, I'm
interested?
done with what I call the first draft. It's not really the
Mm,
first draft, but it's the
mm, mm,
first
mm,
version maybe, because
mm,
there's been many drafts,
mm,
but it was a 6-week project. It was at the LA Writers Center, LA Writers Center. I think that's what it's called. But Sheree Adams, I met her actually in this Chicago Film Writers,
mm,
Screenwriters, Chicago Screenwriters Network. I'm a
mm,
member of that.
mm,
And she was having a seminar and they asked for a volunteer, and nobody was volunteering. So I volunteered for her to work on my concept statement for this
mm,
movie.
mm,
And she really liked it. So
mm,
she said, "Hey, I have this workshop. I would love to help you, to work with you on the screenplay." So it was like a scholarship. So I did this 6-week program with her, and it was so helpful. It was a Zoom call every week for 6 weeks, and there were other people in the class. We gave feedback to each other, and it
mm.
really developed it. I was supposed to be like a 3-minute, Amanda, hi.
Amanda!
It was supposed to be this like tiny little 5-minute short that had
Yeah,
no dialogue,
yeah,
like my 1-minute film.
right.
But they're like, no, I think it needs to be, it kind of reads like a Pixar movie. I'm like, oh no, not a Pixar
Yeah,
cartoon. Okay, I have to add
yeah,
dialogue. So I
yeah.
added dialogue, I had flashbacks, and then it became like this 19-minute film. So
So right
now,
now the projection is 19 minutes.
right now, projection is
Uh,
19 minutes, but
how
it'll probably
many,
go a little longer. It's 19 pages, but I think it's going to go a little longer. Yeah,
like in terms of location, are there a lot of
yeah.
locations?
There's this house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This
Oh, that's
house.
good. That's good.
There's a little room,
Yeah.
and there's like the outside of this house,
Yeah.
and then there's TED Talk. She's at
Yeah.
one of her flashbacks. The
Uh-huh.
other scenes are flashbacks. So
Okay.
she's on a TED stage.
Uh-huh.
She's on a private, like at a private airport, getting on a jet plane. If I could pull it off, if I could,
Yeah.
raise the money for that scene, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, she's her dad is going to be my stepmom's house is going to be her childhood home. Her Yeah. And
Mm.
then, so that's another, yeah, I think those are just 3 other locations. Yeah.
Mm.
But
So
pretty simple.
are there difference between day or night? Like it's all daytime
Oh, that's
shooting?
a good question.
Yeah, you may want to think about having some kind of variation because
Yeah.
you're not shooting, like multiple locations, right? Like Los
Right.
Angeles, New York, or Dallas, or but so
Yeah.
one thing costs a lot of money is locations, and the other
Yes.
the other thing is you can create is the date and night differences. So
You
we'll
know,
make
there
the
are
piece
two scenes
interesting.
in the nighttime. One, she gets a
Uh-huh.
phone call from her dad and she's still in the office. It's at
Yeah.
nighttime, you know, because
Yeah.
she's a crazy workaholic. And
Uh-huh.
then the second one is when she's
Like you.
doing, can you tell? Can you tell? It's true. And the
Yeah.
second one is when she's doing the bonsai with her dad. It happens
Yeah.
to be again with her dad. And
Uh-huh.
that's at night because it's after he's come home from work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's a good point. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
So, we have touched a lot of issues, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
been great. So, do you have anything you want to shout out before we do our rapid fire?
Ooh, rapid fire. Let's see. Oh, I do have something to say. If you're
Oh, okay.
thinking about filmmaking and you don't know where to start, I'd say start with a 1 minute film. It is such, oh my gosh, it's such a great exercise for anybody to do because it forces you to tell a story in such a short amount of time. You have to be very concise, you have to be very deliberate.
Mm,
You can't just waste, you know, if we were shooting on film, you can't just waste film and let it roll. You just have to be um, very clear about what you want to what your story is and how you want to tell it. And then you learn a lot too. And then it's not overwhelming. It's not like you're making a 19-minute film and you're like, oh my God, can I really do this? You're making a 1 minute film, right? But
yeah. Yeah.
everything in that 1 minute film is the same as a longer version. So you have to have a story with a beginning, middle, and an end. You have to do the storyboard and the shot list and the animatic, and then you have to shoot it and edit it
Mm,
and you have to do color correction or whatever. So it's
mhm.
really good practice, but they're in bite-sized pieces. So
Right.
it's not so overwhelming. So if you're and don't think I can't do it. I just like picked up my phone with my daughter. I mean, I did buy the equipment because I did buy the gimbal and I bought the lens and I looked on YouTube before I started shooting to know what I needed. And I was
Mm,
very, very prepared for shoot day. Very, very
mhm.
prepared.
Yeah.
Overly prepared. But um, believe that you can do it and you never know what's going to happen. I never ever thought in a million years I'd get best picture,
Mm,
best screenplay,
right.
especially and best sound because I didn't use a microphone. I did do a lot of sound work in the editing process, but I didn't record sound. So I didn't even think I was a contender for that.
Mm,
You just never know.
yeah.
Absolutely never know. And with the iPhone, I bought the iPhone 13. I showed it to you before, but anybody could shoot a film. Anybody could shoot a film now, and I would love to see other people telling their stories because unless we do it ourselves, most likely a lot of us aren't going to get our films made.
Mm-hmm.
It's just maybe not mainstream enough or and that little 1 minute film, I'm so glad that some people are like, "Oh, I felt like all tingly at the end," or
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, it just really it made me very emotional," or "It made me think." And I'm like, "Wow, I never thought I could affect people
Mm.
in that
That
way with a
that's
1 minute
like
film."
that psychology degree helps.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them that not here. So Skye actually has a degree, in psychology, So
Yeah.
yeah, a master's degree. So Master
In social
Skye, social, yeah, or
So,
social work.
well, bachelor's in psychology and master's in social psychology.
You should write that in your bio, though. Your bio did not say that, so
Oh,
you're very
oh,
modest.
okay.
I don't think you wrote
I
that in your
thought it
bio.
was in there. I mean,
Really?
I've changed it so many
I
times
didn't
and
think so.
I've moved it, so maybe
Yeah,
it wasn't in
yeah,
one of
it
the
wasn't there.
versions.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, very good. I think psychology is very good for many areas.
Oh yeah. I
It's like yeah,
couldn't.
for people who wanted to be rich and do marketing, or for people who wanted to understand humans brain, how it works, right?
Yeah.
It's like it covers so many areas when you
And it
know.
was the next best
Yeah.
thing besides drama, you know, going into theater arts,
Hmm.
which my parents probably wouldn't have let me do.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, so shall we before we do the rapid fire, I just wanted to thank everybody being here.
Thank you.
I do this interview or a conversation with special someone every Wednesday, sometimes on weekends, occasionally, and usually Wednesday 4 p.m. And I've been doing this for 18 months now, and yeah,
Wow.
this I
Congratulations.
think
That's
that today
amazing.
today is 120. either 26 or 27 episodes. Yeah.
You
So,
amaze me though, Chink. I have to say this, and I have to say this to everybody because you're just so consistent. You are so consistent. You're another perfectionist, and I saw down below, Darion was saying it's a blessing. Perfectionism is a blessing and a curse. It is, right? But both of us, you should have seen us. She
uh,
helped me set up my background because I didn't have this, and I was running around like a mad woman. So much crap. Yeah,
yeah,
there's like a
her
lot. Of,
her
I won't show it. There's
her
like
early
all over.
her early background was just a wall, and then we started to, yeah, come here and move
It's
things around. It looks
beautiful.
really
Thank
nice.
you.
Looks really
Yeah, thank
nice. Yeah.
you.
So
I
yeah.
really appreciate
So I
that.
want to thank everybody, to support us, to be with
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah. And uh one more time, I use talking about iPhone. I use iPhone 11, shot a documentary, and it's going to be shown October
Yay.
27th at the LA Big Regal Theater. It's part of an awareness film festival, which I'm going to LA, so I'll hook up with you. We'll go have a
Yeah,
drink.
for sure. For
Yeah, yeah.
sure. We'll have a couple
So yeah,
drinks.
yeah, a couple drinks. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay. How about I always do a funny thing with my guests. It's called rapid fire, meaning I ask a question and my guest
Uh-oh.
answers. Yeah, it could be really silly question. It could meaningless question. Could be anything. Okay. I don't
Uh-oh.
have
Okay.
this script. All right.
Okay.
So the first thing is always very easy. What is your favorite color?
Blue. Sky blue.
Blue, blue, blue. Yeah. Okay. Do you ever
Okay.
sing karaoke?
I, I shouldn't. I shouldn't.
What do you mean you should not? You did or you
I
did
don't
not?
have a good. My
Oh,
poor cats. I sing "You Are My Sunshine" to them all the time, and
oh,
I
really? Oh, that's my favorite song. One of my favorite songs.
I do that when I'm combing them. I do this
Right?
ritual.
Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. Now that I know you have a cat, are you always a cat person? Oh, me too.
No, no,
I
I
have two.
wasn't.
Oh,
They're so cute. They're
I
so
know. I
cute.
know. I know. I love cats. Cats are
So
so
cute.
cute and so independent, right? The
Yes,
thing is about cat, I had a
I'll
fantasy.
show you.
I would like to have a dog just like a cat,
Uh-huh.
because dog let you hold them. Cat, I can't hold my cat because my cat,
Really?
yeah, my cat
My
just comes whenever they want to, but they don't let me like a hold for a long
I
time.
train them to let me hold them. I
Oh, good
train
for you.
them. Oh, that's not a very good picture, but that's
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful.
it's Bunny and
Oh,
Boo. Doesn't she look like a bunny rabbit? The
yeah,
girl, the
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. So cute.
Bunny and Boo.
Oh, oh, Sean is here. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
And yeah, so let's continue.
Okay,
Now,
sorry. Rapid fire. Yeah.
yeah, what kind of when what I know you're Japanese, but
Yeah.
you're Japanese American. Other than Japanese food, what other food do you like?
Oh, that's a good question. I
Genre
like
food.
Italian.
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 Yeah,
Yes.
me too. So sometimes when you go
So
to
we could go to
Chinese,
Italian food when you come to LA. Maybe
I
we
would
could go to
love to.
Italian food.
I would love to. Yeah. And sometimes when you go to Chinese food, right, they ask you if you order some dishes, they'll say chicken, pork, and beef, all vegetable. So what are you?
Oh,
Chicken, pork,
chicken.
and beef, all vegetable. Like, what do you want to mix with this dish? What are you?
Oh, me
Yeah.
usually?
Yeah.
I guess it depends, but I say chicken. In general,
Oh,
chicken. Usually
oh,
when I get like pad thai or something, it's always
ah.
chicken.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Chicken. Yeah. Okay. Great. So, other than you can speak Japanese and English, do you speak another language?
I could say tiene usted agua and donde está el baño? That means do you have water and where's the bathroom? In
I-
Spanish. That's
In
two things
Spanish?
I used
Oh,
in Mexico.
oh,
In
that's
Mexico.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I'll teach you something, okay?
Yes.
You have to
Okay.
repeat after me.
Okay.
厕所在哪里? Okay,
厕
okay.
所
厕所
在
在
厕所
哪
在
里？
哪
哪
里？
里？Yeah.
哪里?
Uh-huh.
What did I just say?
Where's the bathroom in Chinese?
I'll need that. because I drink a lot of water. That's the thing. When I was in Mexico, I drank so much water and I had to go to the bathroom. So this is very
Yeah,
important
yeah, yeah,
two phrases
yeah. Your favorite TV series these days?
these days. Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I don't know. My favorite. This is like rapid fire. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. There's
I'll
just so
tell
many
you.
shows on.
I
Yeah.
know. I tell you lately I saw something.
Yes.
Sex
Tell me.
slash life.
Oh,
You don't know? On Netflix.
no. Okay.
Oh,
I'll have to put that in
sex
my Netflix.
sex
You
slash
know, sex
life.
education is funny. That's gonna be my favorite right now. Have you seen
Oh,
it?
no,
So funny. It's
no.
so funny. You know who's in it? It's the from X-Files. What's her
Oh
name?
yeah.
Gillian Anderson.
Oh, okay.
So good. It's so good. Yeah.
Great, great.
Sex
She,
education. Okay.
yeah, it's a really good show, Sex slash
Okay.
Life, and
Sex life.
it's
Okay.
pretty hot these days. Yeah, I
Oh.
learned that from my Chinese friends from Clubhouse. So they all said you should go see it, and I saw it. I think I finished seeing them 2 weeks ago.
See, because I'm in between, you know how you're in between shows, and I just got Apple TV.
Mhm.
So, yeah, Ted Lasso, but I can't like cast it to my TV from my phone. So it's a
Mm,
problem.
yeah. All right. So I'm sure you're a really great mom. Raise a really
I
great
hope so.
daughter. What is the two important tips you can give?
Oh, two important tips. I think just being conscious of their needs is one. Like we moved a lot, but before every move, even when she was in middle school, I asked her if it was okay. I don't think some parents don't have that choice because they have to move because of a job or maybe they're military or they're maybe government official or something. But when we moved, I made sure that she was going to be okay because I didn't want her to resent me. So it's just an example of one of the things. Yeah, you just want to communicate and make sure that they're okay with things.
Mm.
Um,
You see what Amanda
no,
said?
I thought Amanda. I was kind of like,
Oh, I think that will trigger your curiosity. You're gonna watch it.
uh-oh, I'm gonna watch it. I have
Yeah.
to watch it, Amanda.
No, you
Sorry.
have to watch it. You have to watch it because it is a really awesome. Yeah, really awesome. Kind of
Okay,
X-rated,
second
you know.
thing.
Yeah.
Second thing.
Second thing, yeah.
Uh, that's a good question. Uh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Hmm.
Just I
That's
guess
good.
also I was never like tiger mom. My other friend would check her kids' homework. I'm like, what? I've never checked her homework. I just kind of, yeah, I wasn't too strict. And she later on, when she grew up, she really appreciated that I wasn't super, super strict and I let her
Mm,
make her own decisions because they need to
mm,
learn how to, the consequences
right,
on their own. And
right,
yeah.
right. I think you will be a tiger mother if you were born in Japan.
Probably. Yeah, because I'm a perfectionist,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
So,
kind of. You can ask Sean. You know, I'm kind of
oh,
a
it's
tiger
Sean.
mom.
Hi, Sean.
Sean, yeah, he's my son.
I wanted to
So
ask, it's like I
yeah.
always hear him chopping in the background when you're on Clubhouse. I'm like, how do you train your kid to cook dinner for you? He's always cooking dinner for you. I'm like,
I
how does I
know.
want to,
Yeah,
Sean, you're amazing. He must be
he's becoming
a
a really good chef. I mean, like a chef and barista as well. He makes great coffee.
wow.
Yeah, yeah,
You're so
and
lucky.
yeah, yeah.
You're
I am
so,
very lucky, and he's very particularly when he makes things, he has to buy everything fresh. He
oh,
makes one trip to buy one meal. I am like, I'll buy things. I can cook 20
okay,
meals.
wait. How did you train him? No, not train him, but
I
how
did
did that
not train
happen?
him. No, it's just like from his
Amazing.
just self, kind of a maybe gene from his father, but his father doesn't even know how to cook. So,
Wait,
but
can I ask
anyway,
you the same question? Because your
yeah.
son seems like a really nice guy.
Oh, thank you.
Uh, so what is your secret to, raising an amazing
Oh,
boy,
for
man,
what? I don't
young
know.
man?
I think I didn't think this word for tiger mother existed when I was
Mm.
raised him. So I raised him mainly, I guess. I wasn't strict, but make sure he practices his violin. He was a violinist when he's 5. Every day I go to
Wow.
all the lessons. He has 2 private lessons per week. We're very lucky. He got into a music school when he was 5. So he studied music in a very strict training. So his teacher was very, very strict Russian teacher. So
Wow.
then when he was 12, he got into a very good public high school. Like you have to
Mhm.
be tested before you can get in. It's called Hunter College High School. Then he got
Wow.
there. Yeah, it was all. He's the only one was accepted from his primary classroom. So that
Wow.
means it's very difficult to get in. Then he got in, and he still kept playing music. But long story short, now he's about graduating from Juilliard. So he's a violist. Yeah, he's a viola student. He's
Wow.
very
That's
good. He
great.
won like competition 2 years ago at Juilliard.
And
For
what does he want to do? What does he
I
want
think he
to?
wants to. I want
Mhm.
him to become a violist in a professional orchestra, like world class. I think
Wow.
he wants to do that too, but he probably also have open. He's open to being a teacher or play chamber music or something. But yeah, we didn't really discuss like a great in depth about what he's going to do. But I think practical thing for him is to get into a first class orchestra, which he can do that. Yeah, he's really, really good.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. So thank you. Good job, Sean. Yeah. He just had a lesson today. But
Oh,
anyway, so
nice.
yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, how I don't really know. I think another thing I did I am pretty proud is I speak Chinese to him whenever I can.
Wow.
So he speaks Mandarin. I
Oh,
also
that's
take him to China.
great.
He's been China like 9 times. So he
Wow.
practice, also helps his language and knowing the culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I did okay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it's very many times I want to throw the violin out of the window because he doesn't want to practice. And I was like, okay, if I throw right now, I have to go buy another one myself, right?
Oh, right. That'd be
So
very
I
expensive for
I
you.
yeah I refrain myself. So anyway, so let's ask you a question.
Yes.
Any oh I have a question for you. I think
Yeah.
we talk about at the class at the what is different between a film and a video?
Oh, that's a good question. Hmm. I mean, nowadays, so much that we see on streaming and TV is shot on video, right? So I think in terms of the technical distinction, like uh, when you're shooting, I think you could shoot a film in video, right? But if you're saying, "Oh yeah, I just shot a video," I don't know. That's a very good question. I think the film,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
distinction
know.
between film
I
and yeah,
Yeah, I don't have one. I didn't really Google, but for me, I thought when people say I'm going to filming tonight, it does not mean they're gonna use a camera with film in it to
right,
film.
right.
So film become a verb. It's like I'm going to take
Yeah, that's
videos
true.
of this, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little, but when I shoot something, when I present my work on my channel, YouTube channel, most of the time I feel it's a video because for me to say this is a film, it has to do
Mhm.
very well crafted story
Yeah,
from beginning middle to the end with music with a lot of things, long shot, medium shot,
right.
close shot. So it's film to me is much more a refined a piece of
Mm,
media.
right.
So that's how
But I
I feel.
think your documentary, I would consider that a film, even though,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Documentary is a film. If
Yeah,
I spend that much time to make that documentary, it is a
right.
film. But
Film.
video can be just one sequence, even. It can be a video, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or I go out to video event.
Uh,
I spend 4 days to edit them. I still
mhm.
consider that as a video because it's an
Right.
event. I am telling a story of an event.
Mhm.
It's not like refined yet.
Right, right,
Like
right,
making a
right.
film. I'm not going to use that to apply for a film festival. You see what I mean? Right.
I see.
So I don't
Yeah.
know, but
That's
it's
something to
good.
think about though, because I never really thought about that before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I was thinking, like, what is a video? What is a film? Okay, so
right.
how about tell me your all-time film you like, all-time movie? Do you have one, or you have a lot?
No, I
You
think I
don't
have
have.
a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Mm,
I don't know. So many.
so many.
Yeah. I think recently, and I need to see Parasite again and Minari. I'm looking into the films that are made by Asian and Asian American filmmakers.
Mm,
Um, just because that they're starting to get a lot of attention,
mm.
like they're winning awards. Even Chloe, what was it called? Nomad?
Did you see that?
Nomadland? I
Did you?
did, yeah.
Oh, tell me about it. How do you feel?
I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was unique that when I was watching it, I'm like, I don't think that's an actor. I think that's just a real person. And I looked up on IMDb, and yeah, they don't have any credits. They don't even have a photo of
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
And I really am intrigued about
yeah.
that concept of not using actors. I shouldn't
Mm,
say that because I'm an actor and I don't want to
mm,
be without a job, but
mm.
I thought it was really interesting for that project because
Yeah,
it was really trying to capture that life of a nomad and
yeah.
the but there is another one. It was a movie that Jack Black was in. It was called Harold or something. It was with Jack Black and Shirley MacLaine.
Uh-huh,
So funny. But a lot of those people in that movie as well were not actors.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but in terms of my favorite movie, gosh, I can't even start to, yeah.
Yep.
Because some of them I like them for different reasons. Like the
Mhm,
one that I'm kind of modeling my scene from, and I can't
mm,
say what it's from yet, but the film itself is very disturbing. But
mm,
I think it's one of
mm,
my favorite films. The
mm,
way that it's shot, the way that the drama is
mm,
just, and the acting is so amazing, and the story and the message.
mm.
I would say that, but I can't because
Yeah,
I don't want to
okay.
give it away. But
Secret.
secret,
Secret.
and a quiz, not quiz. What do you call it? A challenge. If somebody
Yeah,
could figure out what movie I'm trying to copy, that'd be great.
yeah,
Not the
yeah,
content, but just like the cinematography a little bit.
yeah,
The setup.
yeah.
The setup.
So, yeah. Great. Well, one last question.
Okay,
Coffee or tea?
coffee. Every morning, coffee. I prepare it in advance so I could just push the button.
Uh,
I
have you had a Turkish coffee?
I copied you. You showed me the turkey. Or no, you showed me. It was on your Instagram, and I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
yeah.
The video.
My daughter and I went to Turkey. We found Turkish
Yeah.
coffee
Did you
in
like it?
Beverly Hills, and we
Yeah.
went. It was so good. It was
Yeah.
really
I'm
good.
in love with it. I'm in love with it. Every
So
day I drink.
good.
I drink 3 times a day. It does
Where do
not.
you get your
I
Turkish
order
coffee?
online. Exactly the thing.
Oh,
I bought in Santa Barbara in the coffee shop. Then when I come home, I love it, and then I ordered online. I just type in
ah,
Amazon. It's a similar price. It's just $20 a can. You can probably drink
what's a
for.
can?
It's a can. It's like a
Wow.
powder. You just put in the hot water
Oh,
and then just
oh,
you just cook
oh. So
it.
it's like instant? Like,
It's almost like an instant, yeah. But I think they
wow.
don't even at the shop, at the
Yeah.
Turkish shop, they don't make it like a supposedly very complicated steep in the
Oh.
tube. They don't do that. They
Oh,
just use the
okay.
powder, but it tastes really, really good. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
good to
yeah,
know. I
yeah,
love it. I don't
yeah.
know if there's anywhere near me in Gardena.
Mm.
Gardina's not quite there yet in terms of
Oh,
we just got a Starbucks.
oh, Starbucks. Yeah, I can't drink Starbucks. It's too bitter for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
regular coffee.
yeah. All right, great. So when
All
you
right.
come to New York, I'll take
Oh
you to
yeah.
Turkish
Oh,
coffee, or I cook you.
but yeah. We should go to Turkish coffee in LA.
Yeah,
When you're here in
yeah.
LA, we'll have to
Okay.
go for a
Yeah,
drink and then
yeah.
Turkish coffee and
Uh-huh.
Italian food. So we have a lot of
Mm.
things to do when you're here.
Sound wonderful. Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
This is so much
Thank
fun,
you. This is
Sky.
so much fun. And thank you for helping me set up my new
Of course. Yeah,
video conference
it looks
interview
great.
background.
Yeah,
I
when
know.
you
Thank
do
you.
Zoom, you should use that.
I'm going to use
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks really nice. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. So I'll see you Friday. I see you
See you
Friday
Friday.
on
Friday
Clubhouse.
morning. Friday
Yeah,
morning on
yeah,
Clubhouse.
yeah. I
All
really, really
right.
appreciate you. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Me too. Thank you
So,
so much.
so everybody, bye bye, Amanda. Bye bye, Shaw. Who
Bye.
else
Thank
is
you so much,
there?
guys, for showing
Yeah,
up. Thank
Shirla,
you.
Shirla, James, and yeah, and if Darren is still there, so yeah, have a nice,
Thank
nice evening
you.
or morning, whenever you are. Okay, all right, I am
Okay.
gonna click end the
Okay.
broadcast.
Thank you. Bye.